What's up everyone, it's T-Mac doing spark plug change on my 2013 Mitsubishi Lancer. Well, it's going to be the same for all the 4B11 engines, maybe even the 4B12s, not sure, haven't looked into it. So, first step is obviously to get to the spark plugs. So, you don't have to, but I removed my plastic lining cover, the one that says MyVec on it, just sits right here. Second, there's another plastic cover sitting over here. Has three 10mm bolts, and it just sits right on top, just like this. So remove those three bolts, and it just comes right off, nice and easy. Third step is to disconnect these leads. So this is what actually provides the electricity to the coil to actually spark the plug. So that one's already completed. Just did it to make sure that I knew how to do it properly. And I'm going to do just one of these to show. So you remove the plug, just push on the little button, release tab, pull it off. Let it hang to the side. Not going to cause any problems. I went ahead and just removed all three of them. Then there are 10mm bolts on top of the retainer. Let's see if I can get a light. So I've got a little light. So these 10mm bolts hold this actually retaining in. So I've already gotten that one started, so let me just remove that real quick. Wonderful magnet lights at AutoZone, by the way. Cheap, and they're actually pretty good. So just remove that bolt the rest of the way. Set it on the side. I recommend having a little, just a tray to catch whatever bolts and loose parts you're going to have. And then simply pull up on it. Just pull it straight out. All this is this actually houses the coil. Don't know if you can see it, but there's a small coil in there. Let's see if I can get it to show. No, well, when you look in it, you'll see it. Just a little electrical coil to connect to the back of the plug itself. Set that to the side as well. Don't put anything in it. Don't clean it. Don't do anything too crazy to it. Now, at this point, we have access to the actual spark plug. There's the back of the spark plug. So what you're going to need to get the spark plug out is an actual spark plug socket. They're not that crazy expensive. Most tool sets actually come with them. Mine actually came with it. What my tool set didn't come with, that I luckily have another tool set, was a 6-inch long, 3/4 inch ratchet attachment, ratchet extension. So you just need it because this canal is kind of long and it's somewhat difficult to get to it. You can use flexible ones, but I don't recommend using the flexible ones. I recommend using a solid one. I started using my flexible extension and it ended up torquing and causing problems. So just get a solid one. And then a 3/4 inch ratchet. If you have a larger one, that's fine. You can use whatever you want. Whatever works for you. This is just what I have and works for me. So now all we're going to do is unscrew the old socket, or old spark plug. Put it down in there, and you should be able to latch onto it. Now, I'm just going to use my wrist. It shouldn't be too difficult. If you're having any difficulty, do not go any farther. If you snap it, or if you snap the engine, the block head, you're going to have a bad time. So now I'm just going to sit here and unscrew this. I'm going to pause it. Okay, we're back. Finally got it all loosened up, and it'll come out, and you should be able to see it. So you can see mine aren't terrible. They're bad enough that I want to replace them. It's been over 35,000 miles. So I will get my new spark plug out for comparison. I'm going to set these down. comparison, new on the left, old on the right. I just got Autolite Double Platinum. You can get whatever works for you. As long as they're gapped properly, they'll work fine. There are some that are better, supposedly cleaner, run better for longer, all this other stuff. I haven't experimented, so I can't tell you whether they do or not. I'm trying to get the socket, or the spark plug out of the socket. Removed. Now I'm just going to go ahead and place the new spark plug in the socket, and it'll pop down like that if you have an actual spark plug socket. Now, the next step is to preferably use anti-seize lubricant. This is an aluminum lubricant that basically keeps the threads from locking. You guys have probably heard of Loctite, which is what you put on threads of bolts that you don't want to come out very easily. This is basically safety lubricant, keeps your spark plug from snapping in the engine head. It's cheap. This tube was like $3. I'm probably going to have this tube for several years. So I'm going to set this down, lube this thing up. I'll show it to you before I lube it. Okay, I have it all lubed up. You can be fairly liberal with it just to make sure that you get it done properly, or get it done right. You can never have too much lube, giggity. But yes, you actually can. When you're putting lubricant on the spark plug, you want to make sure to avoid, you want to avoid the electrical head. So I kind of just stayed down. You just put it on the middle, spread it out with your finger. Nothing too crazy. But don't get it on the actual node, like electrical node. It'll just cause problems. Now, very carefully lower it back down. Try to stay as straight as you can to lower it back down into the head. I'm going to start tightening it. Now, if you feel it cross-threaded, don't force it. It's just going to cause problems. You can either back it out and try again. You can try to tap it with a rubber mallet to kind of correct it, but you don't want to force it. If it's not going smoothly, it's not right. It's not right. It's getting a little tighter. Oh, that's good. Okay, now I'm not going to go too crazy tight because you don't want to cause any crazy problems. So I'm just going to tighten it one hand. And then I'm going to wiggle my socket the rest of the way off. Because I have the spark plug socket, it tends to hold on to the spark plug itself. So that's how you just have to get it out. Now I'm just going to go put it back in, and I can still tighten it without having the thing attached. Just double checking, make sure I didn't loosen it up again by wiggling it around. After that, after you have tightened the spark plug, the new spark plug in, take the node that you took out, basically just go in reverse. So lower it back down. It'll squeeze right on. Make sure the bolt part is bolt and receiver is lined up. Tighten it, and Bob's your uncle. Have any questions? Comment below. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. And I will see you guys